Welcome back to another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast. I'm Nate Palmer, and if you're here, you're probably an entrepreneur, a business owner, or a business leader in some capacity that's interested in getting an unfair advantage in life using fitness and nutrition as force multipliers. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, definitely go to natetrainingsystems.com/group, N8 Training Systems. That's where we stream these podcast episodes every Wednesday now, and you can join in and ask questions. A lot of cool stuff happening. We got a cool jumpstart program going on right now, as well as a massive amount of free resources. Again, go to n8trainingsystems.com/groups to join us there. Before we get started, one of the big things I like to do is give a shout out to the people accomplishing big stuff in the Million Dollar Body community. I wanted to give a shout out to Jessica Nicole. She's down, I think, like 60 plus pounds. She's killing it, wearing clothes she hasn't worn in a long time. Just want to say you're doing amazing. Keep it up. Also wanted to give a shout out to Rick S. Rick dropped 18 pounds in the 21-day jumpstart program. Just shilling our way for that jumpstart right now because I think it's awesome. And I'll be honest with you, 18 pounds in 21 days, that is a lot. That is not what I expect. That's absolutely incredible progress. Most people get about 8 to 10 pounds, which is still great. But Rick blew me away with the results that he was able to achieve. So congratulations, Rick. Make sure you guys give them some love in the comments if you're watching this live. Without further ado, I want to talk about a tale of two fitness journeys. I want to talk about what causes some people to be successful, what causes some people to break down, and what causes some people to never get out of what I like to call the pit of despair. So stay with me here because I'm going to be talking about what it looks like when you first start, when you get a little bit more comfortable, when you get a lot more comfortable, and how some people have managed to parlay their fitness journey into a lifestyle, and what happens if you don't. Okay, so stay with me as we're going to talk about this. And I'm going to bump this right into whiteboard mode. So if you're watching this is going to be a visual masterpiece for you. It's my gift to you. All right, so this is going to be kind of an allegory based on a couple of clients that I've worked with in the past, and I'm talking about two specific individuals. And you might relate to them. I've changed the names. So if you're like, this is me, it's probably not you, but it might be. So I changed the names to protect the parties here. So we're talking about Chad and Brad today. Two brothers. They're on a fitness journey. They both are leaders in their businesses. They're both either business owners or high up in the businesses they're working on. They both want to drop about 40 pounds. They both want to keep it off. And they both are dads with families and stuff going on. They're busy. They have a lot going on in their lives. Okay. So here's what happens is both of these guys are starting off on a program. They're going to start working on their fitness. They're diving in. And here's what that looks like. Okay. So number one, we got right here. This is Chad. He is this guy. And you can tell because of the way he is, he's got a cowboy hat on. Chad, cowboy hat. And then we got Brad. He's blue. And he does not have a cowboy hat on. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I can bring to you my paint skills today. So these guys are both starting off on their fitness journey. Okay. Brad right here, and then Chad right here. Yeah. So here's what it looks like to start off is when you first get started, this is basically here, like you're going to have low competence as to what works. You're going to have a very high commitment level. Low competence as to what works, but a really high commitment level to getting those results. Your motivation is going to be its peak. Your inspiration is going to be its peak, but your knowledge of what you need to do to succeed is going to be low because you haven't gone through the process. You haven't gotten enough reps in. Similar to you starting off with a golf program. You don't go and you haven't swung a golf club before. You're going to be excited. You're going to suck at swinging a golf club, and that's okay. You got to let the first rep suck. A guy named Todd Baumgartner has an awesome book called "Let the First Rep Suck," talking all about how beginners, we're just not good at stuff, and it's okay. It's okay to not be good at stuff. And it's okay to recognize that. So what we're feeling at the moment is high motivation. We're feeling hopeful. We're feeling optimistic and excited. Okay. And at this point, here's what we need to do is we need to rein in some of that enthusiasm and channel it into consistency rather than a high effort for short time periods. We need clear goals and clear steps to get there. We need to have limits imposed on us either by an outside source, coach, an accountability partner, or ourselves. And we also need concrete examples of what success looks like. So Chad and Brad, they're both dads, both dude guys. And so if someone's like, oh my gosh, you should see what so-and-so did, who is a professional athlete, who's got 6 hours a day to train and to work on their nutrition, it's just not going to be quite as effective for them. If you're talking about, hey, you should see what this person did. She's a grandma of 8 people and she has a lot of free time, and she does this all between her knitting experiences. Not going to be quite applicable to Chad and Brad. So here's what that first step looks like, is they're going to be doing really good, feeling really good, positive, getting some momentum. This is like the first week to about 4 weeks, depending. Okay. And then what's going to happen is you're going to experience at some point the dip. Okay. So here's what's happening right now so Chad is going all in. He's very excited. So he's cuts out carbs. He's tracking his macros. He's doing keto. He's taking ketones. He's taking supplements. He starts running. He's going to the gym 5 days per week. He's on point. He's very excited. He's very enthusiastic, and he's throwing everything he can think of at this program. Like I said, the competence is low, but he's excited. Okay. His strength lies in his motivation, his excitement, and his enthusiasm at the moment. Brad, he's got someone in his ear. He's telling him, well, okay, here's what you're going to expect. Here's what you're going to see. Here's how you're going to feel. So Brad adds in a nutrition framework. He's not trying to do a whole lot. He's not trying to change everything about his life. He cuts out some soda, stops drinking his calories, eats more proteins and fats in the morning, eats more of his carbs in the evening. He's got a framework for success. And then all he's doing is he's moving for 20 minutes a day. No 2-a-days, no hardcore runs, no beating yourself up, just moving a little bit. Making those small strides, because Brad knows that consistency trumps perfection every single time. Okay. Going back to here is what's going to happen now is that eventually you're going to hit that dip. Okay. So both Brad and Chad, no matter how good they're doing, they're going to start to hit this dip and they're going to go down. Okay. And this can be disheartening. This is where a lot of people end up, because on one hand, we're going up, we're doing great. We're seeing results. And then all of a sudden we're stagnant. We gain a couple pounds. We're not as motivated. We're not feeling quite as good. And here's what that looks like, is that we are getting some competence. So we're seeing what works and what's necessary. We're not perfect at it yet, but our commitment levels are dropping off. And here's why, is because we're feeling overwhelmed. We're feeling confused. We're feeling demotivated, frustrated. We're feeling inconsistent, and that's wearing on us. And we're seeing flashes of competence. Hey, I'm nailing it. I got this great workout in. I had a full day of eating perfectly. Then I fell off. Then it was the weekend. Then I missed my workout. Then my kids were sick. Then business was calling. Then I couldn't get to the gym. I had to fill out these contracts. I've had to do these invoices. Life adds up. And I'm not saying that this is all one or the other. This is everybody. Everybody hits this point where we're having some competence, some level of success, but it starts dipping down. So in this case, both Brad and Chad, they need perspective. Okay. They need someone to go, listen, honey, look what you did here. Look how good this is. Look at the progress you made. Look at what you were doing during this time. They need someone to give them perspective, show them how to analyze their success as well as their mistakes. So then you can look at this and be like, okay, when we were looking at that dip right here, what happened? You went on vacation. You had a family gathering. It was Thanksgiving. So you can see clearly what are the things that are constituting success. What's happening in your life when you're being successful? What's happening in your life during points of negativity? What's happening in your life when you're not making that progress that you want to make? So in this case, what Brad and Chad both need is assurance that it's also okay. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to fall off track. They need explanations. So it's no longer just about like, hey, do it this way because we said so. It's like when someone asks, well, why are we doing Bulgarian split squats? What's the point of hitting the same workouts 4 weeks in a row? Why are we adding in a protein shake in the morning? There needs to be a very clear why. Okay. And this can be tough if you're doing this on your own, if you're going at it by yourself, because you might not know your why. You might be following a program that you found online and you don't really understand why the author did it like this. But if you're working with a coach, it is important. It's imperative that if you hit this zone, and you will, and if you haven't already, it's coming, that you ask, why do we do it like this? What's the point of this exercise? Why do you think I should walk this much? Why do I need to be drinking this kind of water? Why do I need to do X, Y, and Z thing? And there should always be a why, and your coach should be able to very clearly explain that to you. So that way to increase your buy-in, especially important during the dip, okay? You also need opportunities. Brad and Chad both need opportunities to build their skills. So they need those small challenges, incremental challenges that it's going to help them get a little bit better without being overly stressful. And they also need the opportunity to be heard, to vent sometimes, because you're accomplishing anything worthwhile, dropping pounds, building a fitness routine, building a business, working on your relationships, working on your family. Like there's times when it can be frustrating, and it doesn't mean it's not worth doing. It doesn't mean you need to stop, but sometimes you just need to tell someone, hey, like I'm struggling. It's tough. And like, even just that, saying that, getting that off your chest is so critical to being able to move past it, because you can say it, you can put it out in the universe, you can get it out of your brain and give it to someone else, whether that's journaling, into a coach's ear or whatever else. Maybe just you start a vlog, you start your YouTube channel, then talk about it. Whatever that takes for you, where you can actually be heard and vent, that opportunity is going to be priceless in terms of getting you the long-term results and helping you get out of the dip. So here's what happens with Chad. Chad he's an all-in guy. He's all or nothing. He's got a great business. He makes a lot of money. He's very successful, but he regards himself as being a failure if he can't hit it 100%. So Chad goes, man, I drank this weekend and ate a whole pizza. I'll never be successful. I gained 7 pounds this weekend. It's not working for me. Why did my weight go back up? It's impossible to hit these workouts consistency. Life got in the way. Business was too hard. There's got to be a better diet out there. There's got to be a better workout plan out there. And so rather than looking internally and being like, okay, I see these little places we can make shifts. I see how when I went out to happy hour, it turned into a 8-hour long bender that ended in like nachos and a beer, like a yard of beer. I don't know. Maybe that's you, maybe not. But rather than looking and seeing, okay, I see what my triggers are. I see where I learned a lesson, or I could ostensibly learn a lesson, and I see where I got success. And rather than looking at those things objectively and using them as data points, Chad internalizes them. I didn't do good this weekend. I ate nachos. I drank too much. I am a failure. This program is a failure. It will never work. There is something better out there. And the reality, y'all, is there's probably not anything better out there. The glycogen priming method of the $1 Million Body Program is awesome. It works for so many people. It's so powerful. But if you need to be 100% all or nothing, and then the instant that you fall off, you like go back to the drawing board. A lot of entrepreneurs are like this. We hit a wall in our business, and we're just like, you know what? I need to start a new business. I need to start a supplement line. I need to start an apparel company. I need to start selling face creams, whatever else it is. No, you just need to work through that one thing that's giving you the sticking point. Don't look elsewhere. Look down at what you're doing right now and work through the thing. Okay. One of the big questions right now is you ask yourself is, what do I need? What is the problem right now? Because if you start focusing on where are we going awry and how can we fix it? It's way better than looking around being like, what are the other options? Where are my other diets at? What else could possibly I add in here? That's the wrong mentality when it comes to your fitness and your business. Okay. Look down, analyze the problem, take it as lessons, use it as information and not a reflection of who you are. Brad goes, yo, I ate a whole pizza, but I got back to my basics. I got back to the daily investments that are important to me to make sure that I'm consistently moving forward. My weight went up, but I'm not stressing because I have the foundation. I have some habits that I've set for myself. I do these 3 things every single day. And so I don't know what that could be for you. Maybe it's drink water. Maybe it's move 20 minutes. Maybe it's go for a walk in the evening. Maybe it's I have a protein shake every day for breakfast. Whatever those things are, having those habits, those foundations, we call them in the $1 Million Body Program, the daily investments. Okay. What investments are we taking in our health, our fitness levels, and our energy right now? Because I believe that these things are investments. They do add up. They do compound over time. Brad also says, hey, after talking with my coach, I know exactly which behaviors are going to result in my success. And I'm confident that if I hit them 80% of the time, I'll reach my goals. So the same thing happened. Both guys go out and eat a pizza. Both guys go off plan, right? But Chad, being a perfectionist, being an all-in, a type A, a heavy-hitting kind of guy, loses it. Can't handle the fact that he was not as successful. He wasn't able to power through it with his motivation and inspiration alone. Brad knows, hey, this is like life happens. Stuff gets in the way. What's important is not that I didn't do perfectly this weekend. What's important is that I got right back into it. Whatever it was, I got right back into it. I have a foundation. I can go through it, because just like investing, you're putting $25 a month in, you're putting $50 a month into your 401k, your IRA, the market, whatever it is. You look at your bank account and you're like, oh, the market dropped 5 points, 10 points. Oh shit, like my money's gone. Should you stop investing? Should you stop putting that money into the market? No, because if you're always trying to time the market, you're always trying to like put in the biggest amount of money right when the market dips and try to buy Tesla and this and get Dogecoin when it's down and all these things, you're never going to be successful, because no one can possibly do that. The better thing that any investor is going to tell you, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, some of the smartest investors of our time, they're going to say, just keep putting it in. Don't try to time the market. The most important thing is not to time the market. The most important thing is time in the market. Heard someone say that recently. Thought that was excellent point. Yeah, it was Kyle, by the way, in case you're wondering. We'll get him on the podcast sometime soon. So rather than obsessing over like doing it all in and getting that big investment and hitting that home run and really like, buying Amazon at 46 cents, let's just buy index funds every single month, month after month, no matter what happens, because we know that the behavior leads to the results that we're looking for. We know that investing regularly leads to continued wealth. We know that going for walks, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, fasting regularly leads to the health we're looking for. So don't quit. Don't get in your own head. Look at these things as lessons and then continue to do the behaviors, right? That's what's going to get you out of the dip. That's the only way to get out of the dip. Okay. Most people start off, they do the start, they do the dip, they fail. They do the start, they do the dip, they fail. Here's what this looks like. We'll go back to the whiteboard. So once you get here, here's the dip right here. And we'd like to climb out of it, but right now what we're experiencing is all of this. This is the pit of despair. This is the pit of death. And so many of us never get out of the pit of death because we're always just cycling back up to the top. We're all like, we get here, we do great. Okay, I lost some pounds. I lost 8 pounds. I did a jump start, whatever. I need to get back. I fell off. I did wrong. I got to do it again. I got to do new supplements. I got a new program. I got to go do Orange Theory. I got to hit CrossFit. And we just keep going back to the start, back to the start, back to the start. But really what we need to be doing is pushing through that dip, through the pit of despair and getting to the bounce back. Okay. Bounce back is awesome. It's an awesome place to be. It's still not perfect. It's higher competence. You're feeling better. You know what's required of you, but it's inconsistent commitment. We're still not 100% dialed in. Okay. So here's how you're feeling at the time. You're feeling capable. Okay. I know this. I get it. I can see the success. I can see I'm putting together streaks. You're feeling a little bit critical of yourself because you know now how to put together streaks. So when you don't do it, you can feel negative about those things. You're feeling tentative. You're feeling like I know what it takes to commit. I know what it takes to go in on these things. Should I do it? Or do I want to drink 10 White Claws this weekend? And my favorite one is you're probably feeling a little bit bored. Am I eating the same thing? Am I having tacos again for lunch? Am I having a protein shake again? Am I doing incline dumbbell bench press again? And that is a great place to be. So remembering that these feelings that you're feeling, if you're kind of coming out of that dip, you're in the bounce back now, feeling capable, critical, tentative, bored, those are good things. That means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay. So don't listen to your emotions and let those be the primary driver for your next action step. Instead, just take them as pieces of data, pieces of information. So yeah, we're gonna get to that. We'll get to that point. So here's what Chad and Brad both need as they go through the bounce back. Is they're gonna need problem solving skills. They're gonna need to figure out how to deal with those weekends, the boys' trips, the holidays, the vacations. They're gonna need praise for what they've done right. They're gonna need to see like, hey, you have been successful. Here's the ways you've been successful. Here's how I see you doing a great job. Someone needs to tell them what they're doing because it's easy to get in your own head and not give yourself credit, especially these guys, especially entrepreneurs, especially business owners, super self-critical. They need opportunities to take the lead and be self-directed. So they need someone else to be like, okay, here's the goals. What do you propose? What do you see as being the solution here? They need a reference for looking at previous wins and lessons to help build their confidence. They need to look back and be like, you know what? It did seem like after Thanksgiving, I was able to dial in a lot better. It did seem like that one weekend where I was doing my morning workouts, my nutrition was a lot more on point. Giving some perspective and some reference so you can see your previous wins and your previous lessons, not losses, but lessons, and build your confidence around those things. And you need clear goals. At this point, as you're coming out of the dip and you're going to the bounce back, you need to know where you're headed. Okay. So whether that's a fat loss goal, a muscle building goal, a waistline measurement goal, a general health goal, a blood marker goal, or a business goal, whatever that is, the more you can be specific about that, the more you can know exactly where you're headed, the better your results are going to be, because if you know where you're going, we can find the map to get there. If you don't have any idea where you're going, I hear a lot of guys tell me, oh man, I want to build some muscle. I want to burn some fat. I need to get healthy again. You can't sit one ass on two horses. All right. You can't chase two rabbits. You're going to catch 0 rabbits. So figure out what the goal is. Is it muscle building? Let's go all in. Is it fat loss? Let's dive into it. Let's get after it. Is it a health marker? Let's get after that A1C number, whatever that is. Let's get after it until it's done. And then let's move on. Clear goals are going to get you out of that pit of despair and get you on that bounce back. Okay. Chad, what he's doing here, he goes, I know what I'm supposed to do. I just can't seem to do it. He doesn't schedule his workouts. He doesn't schedule his meal prep time. Everything is a one-off. So he'll be really good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get 3 workouts in a row. And then he's going to be brutally sore on Friday. He's not going to do it all weekend long. He's going to go out drinking. Monday, he's going to start again. Oh, diet starts Monday. He's going to try to get too fancy. He's going to, rather than just going and eating whole foods and having the same foods, that boredom that we were looking for in the bounce back, he's going to try to go back and be like, well, what's a really healthy supplement? How can I take ketones? What about raspberry Cambogia or raspberry ketones or Garcinia Cambogia or anything that's Dr. Oz is shilling out right now? When he does work out, they're beat down workouts. They're HIIT training. He's really destroying himself in an effort to go all in. When he does eat healthy, he's going 0 carb. I'm just going to do this on my own. I'm just going to get after it. This is the point where I talk to a lot of people who they're trying to get to the bounce back. They're in the dip, and I go, hey, how can I help you? And they go, listen, I'm just going to go at it by myself. I don't need coaching right now. I just need some time to work on it myself. And this is literally the worst time to walk away from your coach, your trainer, or whoever else. This is the time when you need that perspective. You need that reference point. You need that praise, and you need someone who can challenge you in small, specific ways. When you walk away from it, what I see is that weight slowly creeps back. And most of the time I'm talking about people with fat loss goals. So when you walk away, that weight slowly comes back because there's no accountability. There's no check-ins. It's just these one-off times. You did it great this week. And then the weekend comes and it's back to the basics. So that's what Chad is up to. Brad, though, he's starting to find meals that work for him. He's figuring out things that are maybe not like the number one best keto meal, but they work for him and his family. It seems pretty good. He's having dessert sometimes. He's not stressing about it. Doesn't worry about it. He knows that the consistency of his workouts is much more important than the intensity of his workouts. And he knows that walking and drinking water is better than any supplement that he'd be taking. So he's got a low-key view of this. He's not overly excited anymore. He's a little bit bored, and he's letting things become rote and routine. And that's okay. That's exactly where we need to be. Because at the end of this, what we're looking to do is we want to get to the lifestyle portion, okay? So as we're coming out of this, we start getting those meals going. We start nailing our workouts. We start seeing that weight loss. We start seeing consistent progress. We're feeling really good. And now we're in the zone where this is a lifestyle, okay? So now we are back to a place where it's like, oh, it's beautiful. I should have done a yellow for this one. This is where we want to be. This is the zone where everything just starts getting so much easier. Draw a little heart right here, because we're no longer concerned with these one-offs and these hardcore things. It's just a time where we have high competency and high levels of commitment. The one way I like to view commitment in the lifestyle phase here is your schedule. How is your schedule set up for success in a way that gives you this into a habit, that turns your behaviors into habits where you don't have to think about them anymore? And that's critical. In the lifestyle phase, it's rare to find people in any aspect of life. So many people stay stuck between the dip and the bounce back. They just can't make and then so they go back to the start. They're never making it out of the bounce back. So at this point, though, you're feeling confident, you're feeling consistent, you're feeling like you've got some expertise, you're feeling quite self-assured. So at this point, what you need is autonomy, the ability to do it on your own. You need a challenge, you need to push yourself. So whether that's like gaining some more muscle, getting some more strength, getting better at each rep you do, making sure that each rep really counts. And the last one is you need to pass on your knowledge. You need to be sharing this with other people who would benefit. You need a mentee. No longer do you need a mentor. You need to become the coach rather than having a coach. And obviously still having a coach can be powerful. And a lot of people who are in this final stage still do, but you need to be teaching what you've learned to someone else, because when you teach it, then you're gonna understand it better. You're gonna get better results. It's gonna feel better. And how great is it to be able to pass along knowledge that's super powerful? Chad never will reach this stage. He's too obsessed with perfection. He's too obsessed with hardcore this, hardcore that. Got to get back in. Diet starts Monday. He'll never be at the lifestyle phase. Brad, he's still seeing slow, consistent results. He knows how to dial up the results, and he knows when to back those off because he's got some lifestyle gains to make. Going out with friends, having dinner with grandparents, doing whatever that's important to him. Brad has brought his focus back to the basics. Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who's practiced 10,000 kicks one time, but I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Do you think that's like Bruce Lee is someone who's gotten bored of his training? Absolutely. But think about like what a powerhouse he is. Brad is working on making every rep ideal. Brad has his breakfast, his lunch dialed into the point where he doesn't even need to think about it anymore. Nutrition for him is no longer a diet. It's just what he does. He just eats in this kind of way. Mark Zuckerberg wakes up, puts the same type of clothes on. He doesn't think about what he's putting on like every single day. He's got other things to think about. Like, probably shouldn't say this because I'm on Facebook right now, but you know what I'm saying? You get it. So your nutrition should be the same way. You don't have to think about it. You just do it because you have it so dialed in, and it's so, I don't want to say boring, but it's so routine that it doesn't allow for much deviation. And that's okay. That's mastery. That's lifestyle. That's your 10,000th kick. So that's the difference between people who are successful long-term, who create mastery, who create a lifestyle, and the people who consistently start over, who battle with the same 40 pounds year in and year out, week in and week out. Diet starts Monday, diet starts in January. So I'll ask you right now, we can all be Chads, we can all be Brads at different times. Which one are you? And which one do you want to be? Which one serves you and serves your family the best? Because like at the end of the day, we'll do more for other people than we'll do for ourselves. And I'm not going to ask you for a commitment to Nate Palmer because who gives a shit? You don't care about me. It doesn't matter what I think. But what does your family think? What is the number one thing you can be doing for your kids right now? If you made just those small tweaks, if you let it get a little bit more boring, would you be a better parent? Would you be better at your business? Would you be a better entrepreneur? And in every moment that you're not doing those things, are you actively contributing to your family's, your business's despair? I don't know the answer to that. I will leave you with that today. Hopefully you got something out of this episode. If you were able to watch it live, hopefully you enjoyed my glorious paint skills. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop me a note. Drop me a note here on the Facebook group. Drop me a note in my email, nate@n8trainingsystems.com. And if you're looking for the couple of different ways that I can help you get results right now, number one, we have a jumpstart starting on the 20th, next Monday. If you want to get in on that, do a 3-week jumpstart. That's going to give you that hardcore start. It's going to get you started back up. Okay. We're looking for 8 to 10 pounds lost in about 3 weeks. Number two, you can get a copy of my book. You can grab it on Amazon, or I can give you a free copy once you join the group. So if you're in the group, just reach out, drop me a message, drop a note in the group, say, hey, free book. And I will send you a copy of my book. You can look at some of these principles that will help guide you through not only the start, but also the dip. Okay. We're going to get you through that pit of despair and get you onto the bounce back. And guys, finally, if there's anything else that I can do, that I can help you with, that I can help walk you through, please reach out. Don't hesitate, because I wanted this community to continually grow fitter, healthier, and wealthier. And we can only do that by all rising up together. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. See you on the other side. Bye.